EZK Studios in Kentucky. It's time for the EZK Show. Tonight, we're talking about animated films that are not Disney or Pixar. Your hosts, Darth Easy and Rainy Cage.
Woohoo!
Alright guys, welcome to episode 59 of the EZK Show. I am Darth Easy.
And I'm Rainy Cage.
So this week, as we do every month, we do a random top 10 of topics coming out. This month, we have How to Train Your Dragon 3 coming out. And we play around with a bunch of topics. And it seems like Rainy Cage doesn't have about one of his movies. So we'll see how that goes. But How to Train Your Dragon 3 comes out this month. You've actually already seen the movie.
I have.
So it'll be interesting if that actually shows up on your list or not.
I decided not to, but I probably wouldn't have anyways. But anyways, I decided not to to keep the integrity of the list with the release date.
All right.
So
we decided to do. We done a top 10 anime back before we were even the EZK show, but this time around we're doing it not Disney or Pixar, and when we eliminate Pixar and Disney, it opens up the board completely, because then we can talk about films that we haven't even talked about before, and we can also bring in some other new contenders. So it's actually going to be a little fun list to talk about.
Yeah, I remember when I was looking at my list that we did a couple years ago, like 7 of the 10 were Disney or Pixar, so definitely opens it up, like you're saying.
All right, so I'll explain how the show works. Once we have Rain Cage have said a topic, we'll go our own separate ways and compile our own separate top 10s. I'll do my 10 through 8, he'll do his 10 through 8, I'll do my 7 through 6, I'll do my 7 through 6, then we'll trade one apiece. Once we have compiled our own separate top 10s, we will create the shows between the two of us.
Woo!
All right, so I'll start it off this time around.
All right.
My number 10, I don't believe you've seen this one. My number 10 is Kiki's Delivery Service.
I have not seen this one. This is one of the Miyazaki films I have not watched.
So I went with a bunch of Japanese films and animated films because I love those films, and I love Miyazaki's, and I love witches, and I like Harry Potter. And basically the whole thing with Kiki's Delivery Service is she's a witch who is trying to find her place in the world, and basically in the world every expiring witch has to come up with a skill and move to a new city to expand the witch trade around the world. So she's like, well, I can fly this broom really good, so I can deliver stuff across town. And then it's got that thing with Miyazaki. He loves things with flying. He beats his boy who is trying to fly things. There's a little interesting chemistry between them. And then also it's the story of Kiki trying to rediscover herself when she loses her powers and has to get them back. So I really enjoyed this film. This is a great film to be in my top 10.
Sounds good. Sounds like I need to watch this. There's still a few holes in my Miyazaki.
There's a lot of holes in your Miyazaki.
A few. But I this one doesn't sound half bad. Sounds pretty good.
All right, it's no Ponyo. My number 9.
Dang it, you just ruined my number 1.
Oh, that sucks. Well, my number 9 could be a potential punt.
Okay.
Is Kung Fu Panda 2.
It is a punt.
All right. My number 8 is another Miyazaki film, and that is The Wind Rises. I know you haven't seen this.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Because I love this film because it plays with... the thing I like about Miyazaki films is the thing that people are like, well, I didn't like that animated film because it wasn't funny.
Yeah,
animated films don't have to be funny. They could be heart wrenching. They could be funny. They're just a film.
Yeah.
And The Wind Rises is a biopic. It's about the guy who created the fighter planes for the Japanese military. He's a guy who he doesn't believe in the war machine going on in Japan. But he wants to make airplanes, and the only way to make airplanes is to fuel the war machine, getting ready for World War II. And it's a story about dreams and love and all kinds of other things. And it was Miyazaki's supposed to be final film, and it was a really great swan song because Miyazaki's entire career he had something involved with flying in every one of his films, and it's a powerful film, and I love it, and I watch it at least once a year, and I absolutely love this film.
Another one I haven't seen. He is an aviation nut, isn't he? Mm-hmm. So just you think about it, like all of his movies involve some type of flying, mystical or otherwise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why I never saw this one. But I agree. Animation should be a medium, not a. It shouldn't all be a comedy aimed at 2-year-olds.
Yeah, because all the shitty comedies all the shitty animated films we get are comedies. The ones that are really bad are like, well, we're just gonna make, because they're like, well, they're for kids because they're animated films. So let's make the kids laugh, and I don't agree with that.
I'm with you. And this is another hole in my Miyazaki that I should wear. What did my brother always say about this movie? The sound effects are really dumb or something.
Yeah, your brother's stupid.
But he's one of the ones that has seen a lot of Miyazaki movies, so that's not why I didn't see it. I don't know.
I love this film, and I had the Blu-ray. I'll let you borrow it sometime.
Okay.
All right, that's my 10 through 8.
All right, my number 10, I'm going to guess is probably not on your list, and that is my only Universal. Now I've done forgot what the heck they're called. Their animations. Oh, Illumination.
Illumination.
Despicable Me. You know,
Yeah, no.
the pretty much the one that started all. Even though the Lorax kid come out before this. Yeah,
I mean, honorable mention. I don't even care for him.
I really love the first Despicable Me because it has a lot of heart. It's funny. Steve Carell is the main voice. You know, it's about fatherhood, so of course it touches me a little bit in that way. And there's just some really great, sweet moments in it, and it's funny. And it was before Illumination just, started dumpster diving with all their movies. I really enjoy this film. I do think that right out the gate, I mean, if you don't count the Lorax, they were kind of like, oh, we can compete with DreamWorks and Pixar and Disney. But then, after that, it was just
hit wonders.
Yeah. But I do really enjoy the film, so that's why I got it.
Make sure you see Cinder Laughing Pets too. They're coming out this summer.
Oh God. All right. My number 9 is a movie I have forced you to watch, but for some reason you didn't like it. It's one of my favorite anime films ever, and that's sort of The Stranger.
Yeah.
I really, really love this film. The animation, Bones does the animation. It's fantastic. It's a samurai film, but it's not historically accurate. Who cares? And it's just beautifully animated. It tells such a great story. It's action packed. That opening scene when they're trying to climb up the freaking mountain, and it's just, I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. And this is one of the ones that I would be like, I'd be game for a live action adaptation of this. And it's still one of my favorite anime movies. I haven't watched it in a few years, but I had no problem sticking this in my list because I love this movie. You should give it another chance.
I'm not gonna give it another chance. I've watched
just
it.
For animation quality alone. It's beautiful.
It's all right. So, but it was okay. I mean, I liked it. I didn't love it. I had a lot of problems with the movie. I enjoyed it. So
okay. My number 8 is a DreamWorks movie you have not seen, although I have implored you to see this a million times, and that's The Croods.
All right.
I love The Croods. DreamWorks, for me, has got, 2 franchises and then some other stuff that we don't like to talk about. The Croods is that 3rd franchise, and I always thought this could be the one, that could help lift it up in the Pixar ranks. And then when Universal bought DreamWorks, they were like, yeah, we're not going to do this anymore. But then now they're bringing it back. So it's got Nick Cage, Emma Stone. It's got a great voice cast. It's beautiful. It's got a ton of heart. It's really, really funny. It's just about these cave people. And, the daughter wants to go out and explore. Nick Cage is like, no, I'm going to protect my family no matter what. You have to stay home. And that's, you're basically this cool guy shows up and Emma Stone falls for him. And you need to watch this movie because it's really freaking good.
That's a weird way to say the Flintstones.
Yeah, it's got some Flintstones type stuff to it. It's beautifully animated, has a ton of heart, like most of my animated films. And once again, a lot of my animated movies have kind of like this fatherhood thing going with them. This one has it too. Nick Cage is great in this movie. Watch The Croods, people. I figure you'll probably wait till The Croods 2 comes out, but you need to watch that film. That's my 10 through 8.
All right. My number 7. It's another Japanese film.
Nice.
And this is one that came out a few years ago. Your name. You fucked up, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Oh, my God. How'd you not have this movie in your list?
I don't know. Because I really love this movie.
Yeah. Okay, so your names.
I pulled a Mark Ellis.
I would say you pulled a Matt Dose.
Does he do that sometimes?
They do that sometimes. So basically, the story of the movie is you have these two characters who they switch every other day or so, and they switch lives, and they see the life through a girl who's through the eyes of a boy in the country, and the boy goes through the eyes of a girl through the city. But it also takes place like a couple years in between. It's got this time travel thing going on with it. It's a great little like romance, that friendship thing, and it's just an incredible good film. It's beautifully made. This movie proves that hand-drawn animation is still relevant to today, and it can still be used. And I absolutely love this film. And fuck you for not having it on your list.
It's legit one of the best and like looking films of all time. Like I can't believe I didn't put this in there. I just forgot about it because I'm an idiot. But yeah,
you are
good call.
All right, so my number 6 is I went with a superhero film.
Cool.
And cool. No doubt. All right, my number 6 is Batman: Mask of the Phantasm.
Oh, cool.
This is after like it's like one of our first origin stories for Batman, and it's around the animation style of Batman the Animated Series, and they introduce this character the Phantasm, who is going after, I believe, I can't remember, she's basically killing people, and it turns out that she's a love interest of Batman. And also we go into the story of Batman, how he lost his parents and everything. The animation is it's pretty good, and it's just a great story, and it's a great origin. It's probably one of the best origin story movies ever put on screen, and it's just such a good Batman film. If you have not checked it out, it's good. And also you get bring in Mark Hamill's Joker, he's in there, and all other cool villains. I haven't seen it in a few years, so some of the memories of the movie is kind of sketchy on me, but I remember I love this film, and it still holds up to this day.
Yeah, I never saw any of the Batman animated series or any.
You should watch Mask of the Phantasm. It's a good animated film. It came out in theaters, and it's a good film.
All right,
that's my 7 through 6.
Okay, my number 7 is.
It doesn't matter. You didn't have your name on it, so your list. So fuck your list.
It's true. And when I tell you what my number 7 is, it's gonna, probably should be in there too. But you might have this on your list. Actually, I'm going with the original Shrek.
Okay, I didn't put that on my list. Okay. It was an honorable mention. I hadn't seen it in years, so I don't remember the movie.
I mean, this was a game changer. I mean, animation-wise. I know the first Toy Story came out before this, right? Because Shrek was like 2000.
Toy Story came out in 1993 or 5 or something.
Yeah, so. But really, this was the first non-Disney, like, holy crap. It has a stellar voice cast. We got Eddie Murphy, Mike Myers, Cameron Diaz. And it was beautiful at the time. It has not aged well. If you go back and watch Shrek now, the animation is woo! But it's really, really funny. It has great music. And there's a little bit of heart in there. It's a kind of a story we've seen before. He's an ogre. It's what's inside that counts, man.
He's a guy who wants to be left alone in his mug. And then you have the king who's basically sending all the fairy tales to live in his land, and he goes off on this mission to save the princess. But
this was the start of DreamWorks. I mean, they had a few films before this, but this was the big one. This was the one that kind of launched them into.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I like Shrek 2 more than I like the first Shrek.
Really? So I haven't seen him in so long. And
I haven't seen him either, so I can't. I was going to rewatch at least one of them, but I just didn't have time.
I have a feeling there's a film in your list that I haven't seen in a really long time. So we'll kind of cancel each other out with this. But yeah, I really like Shrek, and it's just for its revolutionary aspect. I had to throw it in there. My number 6 is my first Miyazaki film, and I'm going with Spirited Away.
Yeah, we're punting like a motherfucker.
Okay, all right. Well, there we go. That's my 7 through 6.
All right, my number 5 is my only Leica film. I went with Kubo and the Two Strings.
That's cool. I mean, I like Kubo, but it's not even an honorable mention for me. Leica is kind of I don't know.
This film is so good because it's an epic. It's the story of the hero's journey. You have Kubo, who basically he goes on, or he is a guy. Kubo's a boy or a girl.
Let's see. I can't remember. I think he's a boy.
Yeah, so I've only seen it once. But basically, Kubo, he goes on this journey throughout the to to avenge his mother, and basically, and then he meets his father, who's played by Matthew McConaughey. His mom is reincarnated into a monkey, who's Charlize Theron, if I remember right.
Yep.
And it's just such a good story. It's a great epic. I remember I saw this movie in a theater all by myself.
Nice.
This movie made like no money, and it was just such a good animated film. It was in my top 10 the year it came out, and I love this film. It's such a great
it is a shame Leica does not make money. To me, it's because the animation style is weird. People don't like the.
I appreciate stop motion animation though.
I appreciate the work that goes into it, but I will. This one for me is my favorite Leica movie as well. I mean, it's got my kind of stuff genre in there, and it is animated really well. The music's really cool, but I don't know. Leica just doesn't do it for me. But good pick. My number 5 is a punt from earlier, Kung Fu Panda 2.
Okay.
I went with Kung Fu Panda 2. It's my favorite. The first Kung Fu Panda is in my honorable mentions. But I really freaking love this film. I love the villain in this one. That's what does it for me. The freaking peacock. I can't remember what his name is, but he's awesome. And I remember coming in this movie. The first one's very jokey. This one's got some jokes, but this one had a lot of good backstory.
Yeah.
And I really like that you get the backstory of the villain. You get some more backstory for Poe.
Yeah, Poe finds out that he isn't a whatever he isn't a duck like his father.
That's right.
I think that was in the first movie, but but they joked about it in the first movie.
Yeah, they did.
And
but you learned how he ended up with the
first movie. He's finding out who he is, how he's a dragon warrior. The second movie, it's about saving kung fu. But I just got kung fu, and the action's pretty good, and how they fight the kung fu with using like gunfire and all that was very interesting. So
it's for an animated movie. The action scenes are really well choreographed. Like it's really cool to watch. It's not. I really love this movie. This is DreamWorks' second best franchise. I mean, hint.
I think you're a little biased.
hint, because I love all three of the movies. But for me, some people like the first one better, but I think Kung Fu Panda 2 is the best, and obviously you do too, unless we have a hidden Kung Fu Panda 3 at the top of your list.
No, I only did the role of one franchise per list. All right. So
I like it.
Well, you may not like it. All right. My number 4 is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
That is my number 3. So
all right. So this came out last year. It was my second favorite movie of the year. Love this film. I love because Spider-Man has kind of been played out a lot. We've had 3 origin stories. We've had all kinds of different people playing Spider-Man. And to do a story on the Miles Morales Spider-Man and kind of open up this world of where, hey, we can do more. There's more than Spider-Man than just Peter Parker. We got Miles Morales. We got the Noir Spider-Man. We got all kinds of other Spider-Man. We got We got Spider-Gwen. We got Peter Porker or whatever it is. And it's just a story of everyone going through this the origin story. To be Spider-Man, you have to lose a loved one, and Mahershala Ali played his uncle or his father. I can't remember, but I love this film, and the animation. I mean, it looked like it was a comic book, and it was so meta and so different. And I'm glad this film came out because maybe we could see more comic book animated movies like this. Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy. This just came out and is already very high in our top 10s. I love this movie, and how I said Your Name is like probably the best hand-drawn animated movie we've ever gotten. This movie is the most unique, that's for sure. It's just feels like a freaking comic book come to life, and everything you said. I mean, it's very meta, but it's funny. It's got its heart. It's got a great soundtrack. It's got some great music, and it's something that we've seen a million times in Spider-Man, but it's really different and cool. And I'm pumped for the future of this franchise. But it's not only one of the best animated movies. I mean, it was one of the best movies last year altogether. So, all right,
my number 3, because we already did your. Oh, I don't know. You haven't done your number 4.
I haven't done my 4 yet.
Oh, okay, I thought my bad.
Go ahead. Number 4 is the first How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay, that's a punt.
Okay, that's what I figured. There we go. And my number 3 was Spider-Man.
All right, my number 3 is The Iron Giant.
This was the one I was talking about where I've seen this movie, but I haven't seen it in a really, really long time, and I was going to watch it before we did this list, and of course life got in the way, as the great Ian Malcolm says. So, yeah.
I watched it Wednesday. Or no, yeah, I watched it Wednesday.
Still great, right?
I was like, I need to rewatch this film before I do this list because this is the one film I've seen it. I just don't remember it. We talked about it last year when we did Top 10 Robots, and I had it lower on the list. And this movie is so fucking emotional at the end. And I always say that if a movie makes me cry, then it's going to be in the top 5. It's going to be one of my favorite movies. This movie made me cry, and the whole story is set around the 1950s, and the Americans this one guy finds they find this iron giant robot, and they think it's a Russian plot or a Chinese plot, and then you also have the funny duck and cover video in this movie, and this film was just incredible, and it's that story of a boy and his dog kind of relationship. The boy finds this robot who doesn't have any friends, and the robot kind of the kid reads them stories, like he sees them Superman. He reads them superhero comics because this movie is made by Warner Brother Animations, and and when he goes super and the nuke gets ready to destroy the city, and he's like, "You stay, I gotta go," and the kid's like, "I love you," and the tears just go, just like, "Ah!" And then when Iron Giant's flying off to sacrifice himself for everyone who lives in the town, and he hears the voice from the kid. He said, "Be whatever you want to be," and Iron Giant goes, "Superman," and it's so emotional, and I love this film.
This is one, I just don't know. I never connected with this one. It's come out in a weird time where I wasn't like,
This is a 20th year too of it came out in 1999. So
yeah,
it's a 20-year
that's
anniversary.
crazy. And in '99, I was like Matrix. Like I don't know. I wasn't in my animation mood then in '99, I guess. But I need to go back and watch this movie because I remember when you're talking about this stuff. I remember a lot of it. I mean, this is Brad Bird directed this, right?
Yeah, I mean, without Iron Giant, we don't get Ratatouille, and we don't get Incredibles. So I mean,
and then Vin Diesel does the voice of it.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think so. But anyways, I didn't want to put this on my list because I don't feel passionately about it, and I haven't seen it in a long time. But
you also don't feel passionately enough about Your Name, so.
Well, no, that one I just forgot about it. But I could easily go back and see this and be like you, and be like bawling my eyes out, going, "How could I not see the greatness of this film?" Because I haven't seen it in 20 years. So yeah, but. Yeah, good pick. I actually put it in my honorable mentions just because I.
All right, so my number 2, it's a punt from earlier.
Okay.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Nice. So not a big punt, very very small punt. We went up a couple yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this film. We talked about it when I used to have our Dark Easy Movie Anatomy on How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love this film. I love that it's a fantasy film, and it's about Hiccup, and it's a story about him and his father, and that relationship, and then also of building a friendship with a dragon, with someone that were enemies for hundreds and hundreds of years, with Vikings. And Toothless is a great little dragon. The animation's great. The score, John Powell's score, is incredible. That would have been our score for this episode, but we already used a Dragon score for one of our earlier videos this year. So I love this film. It's just such an incredible animated film. And 2010 was the year of animated films because we had this, Tangled was out, and Toy Story 3. So it was really one of the best years of animated films of all time, probably.
I agree with everything. We've gone very in depth of How to Train Your Dragon. Like you said, there's multiple videos where we've talked about it. I love it. It's my favorite DreamWorks franchise. It's beautiful. It's got everything you just said. The music's great. I love it so much that I broke my franchise rule.
Yeah.
Because I love this. And that's, really the whole reason we're doing this is in honor of How to Train Your Dragon 3 coming out. So, yeah, I can't say enough amazing things about this franchise. It's fantastic. I'll get more into it when we get into the other one.
All right.
Are we ready for my number 2?
Yeah, sure.
My number 2 is Princess Mononoke. Yeah. How'd you know, man? I'm wondering what your number 1 is. That's what I'm confused about, but maybe it'll come back to me. Yeah, this is my favorite Miyazaki film. We just recently watched this here because I wanted to show it to Kia. It's awesome. It's definitely got an environmental message, but I love the characters in it. I love the animation. It's so freaking cool. I love the American voice cast. This was one of the first Miyazaki films that kind of, I know Spirited Away is the big one, but this was before Spirited Away that kind of like, I think Disney was like buying the rights to these and then re-voice casting them with American actors and stuff. And I just remember,
yeah, because what's his face, John Lasseter, he had actually worked with Miyazaki at bringing in voice actors to do it. So it's actually partly Disney.
It is.
So
yeah.
Just for on the American side, it's not American in any way, but it's a Japanese thing.
And this was in my height of holy crap, I'm liking animes when I found this movie, because I was in the DBZ and I was just like blown away by how beautiful this movie is. It's still my favorite Miyazaki. I know I have some holes, but I don't think those other films could get anywhere near this, because I know, unlike you, Nausicaa is on my list, and I really do like Spirited Away, but Princess Mononoke is the shiznit, man, and I freaking love it. I'm going to guess this is just not even in your list at all.
Not in my honorable mentions at all.
You are such a hater on this movie.
I don't like movies that preach to me. I just don't like it. I don't mind being preached at, but I don't want to be known I'm being preached at. And this movie kind of hits you over the top of the head about it. The story, he's trying to get rid of this thing. He's been banished from his village. The action of it's good. It's just, it's not one of those. It's not the Miyazaki films that stayed with me.
Okay.
And I think like with your brother who's House Moving Castle,
Ugh.
I think you overrate this film. Just
House Moving Castle. It's too boring. But I don't know. Maybe, a lot of it I feel like sometimes it's just, the first one you see, it's the one that you connect with the most. Mm-hmm. This was my first Miyazaki film, so, even though Nausicaa's older, that was probably the next one I saw. And then I was like, ooh, I really like this one. So maybe it's just a first thing. I don't know. But
I'll agree with that, because my first Miyazaki was Nausicaa, because I was doing the top 5 Miyazaki films. And
you hadn't seen any of them?
Before that. So I did it all chronological.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So Nausicaa was my first one, and Nausicaa didn't really stay with me.
But also, when I saw Princess Mononoke, I was, a teenager.
I think I saw Castle in the Sky first. Yeah. I can't remember. Okay.
Yeah.
You good?
I'm good, man.
All right. So speaking of Miyazaki, my number 1, Spirited Away.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was our punt from way earlier. I forgot about it. Yeah.
This fucking film is amazing. I've talked about this film a lot in a lot of our top 10s, from our top 10 2000s, top 10 coming of age stories. And it's a coming of age story of Sin. She's her family gets turned into pigs, and she has to try to remain who she is, remain the person she is, and also connect with the spirit of Haku. And
she's thrown into this crazy world.
But she's a girl. She's timid. She's shy. She's everything, and she has to come to age. And I also bring this thing up where this film is basically Alice in Wonderland. It's but it's a lot better, because I hate Alice in Wonderland. I think it's so bad, and I absolutely love this fucking film. It's just such a great story, and the coming of age part of it. I love coming of age stories anyways, but this is what really makes it the movie. And at the end of the story, she's a strong, determined woman. And also, I forgot to mention with Miyazaki loves strong, powerful female characters in his stories, and she's one of the best ones probably. And I've only seen this movie once, but this movie has stayed with me, and I just absolutely love Spirited Away.
This is one I've rewatched a lot. This was probably like my third Miyazaki movie, but it's my second favorite. I freaking love it. This used to be the one I would always point to, go hand-drawn animation. Look at this movie, because Princess Mononoke and Nausicaa, while they're hand-drawn, they have kind of like that old feel to them. This is when he was like, holy crap. Yeah, this is when I was like, man, this looks good. Just from the open scene when they're driving in the car, and everything's hand-drawn, but it's like so moving and beautiful looking. And I really like this movie. It's 6 on my list because I like other movies ahead of it.
This is the only Japanese film to ever win Best Animated Picture at the Oscars. Miyazaki didn't go to the Oscars to accept the award because he was protesting the with 9/11 and
Oh.
us going to Iraq and everything. So
Didn't know that.
But yeah, this is an incredible film, and now talk about How to Train Your Dragon 2.
My number one, homies. It's my favorite, and I've rewatched these How to Train Your Dragon movies a ton. Just rewatched them to go see How to Train Your Dragon 3, and I can even say after seeing How to Train Your Dragon 3, this is still the best How to Train Your Dragon and my favorite animated movie of all time. It's just freaking. It hits it on all levels. It's beautiful. The music is amazing. Even I like this soundtrack better than the first one. It has way more heart. It's definitely the saddest of the three, but it's got the most heart. And I really connected to the characters on this one when because it builds off the first one, but you get added things. You get the mother and things, and I just love it. And it builds on a Hiccup and Toothless relationship, and just I don't know how much more I can say about How to Train Your Dragon 2 other than it's my favorite franchise. I know you like the first one better, and there's people that, you're not the only one that like the first one better, but there's some people that, like the second one better.
I like that they didn't do a direct sequel. Like, it's not like directly after the first movie.
That's
it's
true.
Like 5 years
it took
after
some time.
the
He's
first.
older, more mature, Hiccup in this movie.
Kinda. I mean, he's stupid. He's so stupid where he's like, I convince him to.
Well, we didn't even talk about the villain, which is,
I think the villain's kind of a cartoon.
No. Once you see the third movie, you're going to be like, whoa. This second villain. I love the villain in this movie over the first movie that kind of really doesn't have a villain.
That's the point. But the first, it's just a dragon who is doing his natural thing, and we're trying to stop him from terrorizing us. The second one, he's basically like, I'm going to take control.
But they give you backstory on him, why he's doing what he does, and there is a really great scene towards the end of this movie where Hiccup is still very idealistic and thinks he can convince him to change, and something happens and you realize, no, this dude is just evil. He's not going to change. Things have happened in his life. It's not going to happen. There's a split second where you think it might and it doesn't. I just think he's a little more layered than you're giving him credit for.
It gets his dad killed. I mean, that's how idealistic he is. And
it does it, but I think it really does change Hiccup as a character. Although Hiccup is a very idealistic person.
But the thing is, he wants to be that guy. He wants to just be free, but with his dad dying and everything, he wants to be more like his dad. And also, he introduced Cate Blanchett as his mom.
She's really good in them.
And
I love the song in the second. That was another. Every time I think, man, maybe I do like, because the first one is great. And when we rewatched the first one, I was like, man, this movie is amazing. But then every time I doubt myself on How to Train Your Dragon, I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, this movie, like, it's perfection to me. I mean, it hits on all levels. That's song with Gerard Butler when you think there's going to be this great conflict where he's going to be like, how could you leave me? And then they somehow tie this Gerard Butler song, and it's just beautiful, man. It's just beautiful.
I like the movie. I'm not saying you may think I don't like the movie. I love the movie.
I know you. But you just like the first one better.
But it was in my honorable mentions, but I have that rule of one movie at a time, and if I'm going to choose a How to Train Your Dragon, it's going to be the first How to Train Your Dragon.
I think this franchise is worthy of breaking that rule.
No.
But
it is.
That may just be me, because I think both of these
movies
are great top 10 worthy movies.
And I wanted to include other animated films, not just one big franchise.
All right, we ready to make this list?
All right, so I had Spirit Away number 1. And you had How to Train Your Dragon 2 on your list.
I understand.
According to the rules of the list, we had to put Spirit Away at number 1.
I'm with you.
Do you concede?
I concede.
All right. All right, so I'll give you How to Train Your Dragon 2 at 2.
Sweet. Perfect. 2. We're going to have a lot of different ones on this one, ain't we? What are our other commonalities? Spider-Man.
Okay, I had How to Train Your Dragon
the first one.
2, so we can put that at 3.
Okay. That at 4. Double How to Train Your Dragons. Back to back.
Then we had Spider-Man Into Spider-Verse. I had it at 4, you had it at 3, so we'll put that at 4.
Okay.
Spider-Verse. And then Kung Fu Panda, since you had it at 5, we'll put that at 5.
Where'd you have it?
I had it 9.
Oh, okay.
But that's our last commonality. Since you didn't put your name in there.
We had Spirited Away. Oh, that was number one.
1.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so number 6, I'm going to throw Iron Giant. That was my number 3.
Okay.
All right, what do you want at 7?
Shrek.
All right. Let's see. I want Kubo next at 8.
Okay.
All right, what do you want at 9?
Crudes.
All right.
I would say Sword of the Stranger, but
That was like your number 10, wasn't it?
No, it was my number 9. What
was Crude's at?
am I skipping something on my list?
I don't know.
Princess Mononoke.
Yeah, you forgot about it.
Yeah.
So
I want to knock off Crudes, obviously, and put
you want to put Princess Mononoke at 7?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Shrek would be my final one. Are we going to still fit your name in there? Because I really do not want to miss. I'll take your name over.
I'm going to take Batman off it, and I'm going to put your name, even though Batman is my 6.
Okay.
But we already have a superhero film on there.
Okay.
Even though you fucked this list up by not putting your name on this list.
I know.
All right, let's do this. The top 10 animated movies that are not Disney or Pixar. Yeah. At number 10, Your Name. At number 9, Shrek. At number 8, Kubo and the Two Strings. At number 7, Princess Mononoke. At number 6, The Iron Giant. At number 5, Kung Fu Panda 2. At number 4, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. At number 3, How to Train Your Dragon. At number 2, How to Train Your Dragon 2. And the number 1 animated film that's not a Disney or Pixar film is Spirited Away.
I like that. Even though I didn't get How to Train Your Dragon 2 at number 1, I really like that there's 2 in the top 3. It really warms my heart. So honorable mentions.
Yeah.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, sure.
I had Iron Giant. I didn't have a whole lot. I had the first Ice Age because I do think Blue Sky one day could make although
once it goes,
Disney just bought them, so
they'll probably close the door after.
Probably. Epic, another Blue Sky movie that I really like that no one does for some reason. And then I had the first Kung Fu Panda as another honorable mention.
Okay. Yeah. So I had Shrek 2,
okay,
The Land Before Time,
I like The Land Before Time.
The Prince of Egypt,
I've never seen it.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
I hate that movie
With
a passion.
I really like that movie. How to Train Your Dragon 2, I had in my honorable mention.
Okay. Justice
Justice League Paradox.
Never heard of
Kung Fu Panda, the Peanuts movie.
it. I never saw it. Did you see that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. That's Blue Sky.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
It's actually pretty good. It's a pretty good one because it's refilling the field.
Made no money, though.
Yeah.
That's
sad.
the problem with Blue Sky.
Yeah, but it was a good movie. They play it all the time on, especially around Christmas time. Ice Age, Justice League Doom. That's the one where Batman comes up with a plan to take out every member of the Justice League, and one of the evil villains basically finds it and uses it on the Justice League. It's actually pretty good. It's like, yeah, I did it, and I'm Batman. I do that. And then the last one I picked was Porco Rosso.
Oh.
And that's one of the other Miyazaki films.
Where's the Grinch?
Also, the original Grinch?
No, the new one. Also, Where Are the Minions? Classic. Madagascar? The Penguins of Madagascar? Or Puss in Boots?
Puss in Boots, baby. So, guys, that is another episode of the Easy Cage Show. This is a fun list, and Randy Cage loves talking about animated films.
I do.
Yeah. So, guys, until next week, all too easy, and peace out.